What if love is both biology and meaning at the same time? People often talk about love as if we have to choose. Either love is chemistry, hormones, instinct, and neural activity, or it is something deeper, something meaningful, something sacred, something that gives direction to a human life. But what if that division is false? What if love is both biology and meaning at the same time? What if science explains part of love without taking away its depth? That possibility matters, because many people feel disappointed when love is reduced to chemistry, and many others become suspicious the moment love sounds too deep to measure. But maybe both sides are looking at the same thing from different levels. Science gives us a real foundation here. Human bonding has clear biological patterns. Romantic love is linked to brain systems involved in reward, motivation, focus, and desire. Studies on attachment and bonding point to processes involving dopamine, oxytocin, vasopressin, serotonin, and stress hormones. These are not abstract ideas. They are observable biological processes. Love affects attention. It affects memory. It affects sleep. It affects stress. It affects pain. It can make one person feel unusually important. It can make the whole world seem reorganized around them. There is also an evolutionary side to this. In social mammals, strong bonds can improve survival. They can support parental investment. They can increase cooperation. They can protect offspring. They can strengthen group stability. In that sense, love is not some random poetic accident. It appears connected to ancient biological systems that helped human beings survive, bond, raise children, and build lasting social structures. But biology is not the whole story. Knowing how something works does not tell you everything about what it means. You can understand how vision works and still be moved by a sunset. You can understand sound waves and still be transformed by music. And in the same way, you can understand the biology of love and still recognize that love can change the meaning of an entire life. Maybe the best way to understand love is through layers. Biology is the foundation. Meaning is the lived reality that emerges through it. One does not cancel the other. Biology gives the structure. Meaning gives the experience. Science may show us the mechanism of love, but that does not mean love becomes smaller. It may simply mean we are seeing the instrument through which meaning happens. Think of love as an interface between body and world. Biology prepares the human organism to notice, attach, care, and remain connected. It focuses attention. It marks someone as special. It creates emotional reinforcement. It makes closeness feel rewarding. It makes separation hurt. That is the biological side. But then memory enters. Consciousness enters. Story enters. Symbol enters. And now the loved person is no longer just a stimulus. They become part of how you understand your own life. That is why love is more than attraction. Attraction may begin the process, but love becomes layered over time. Shared experiences give it history. Sacrifice gives it weight. Vulnerability gives it risk. Loyalty gives it continuity. A shared future gives it direction. At some point, love is no longer just a feeling. It becomes something you live inside. This is also why reductionism feels incomplete. When someone says love is just chemistry, the word just creates the problem. Because chemistry is not a downgrade. Biology is not a trivial thing. Every fear, every memory, every insight, every grief, every joy, every prayer, every song, and every hope also happens through the body. We do not say music is meaningless because it is vibration in the air. We do not say thought is meaningless because it depends on neurons. So why should love become less real just because it has biology behind it? A lower-level explanation does not erase a higher-level reality. In fact, biology may be one reason love feels so powerful. It gives love force. It gives love urgency. It gives love physical presence. It helps explain why absence can hurt, why rejection can feel like injury, why a familiar voice can calm the nervous system, why touch can reduce stress, why the presence of one person can make life feel safer, warmer, and more stable. The body is not the enemy of meaning. The body is one of its main instruments. At the same time, biology alone cannot explain everything human love becomes. People stay loyal through hardship. People care for partners through illness. People raise children who are not biologically theirs. People remain present when excitement fades and routine arrives. That is not just instinct. That is interpretation. That is value. That is commitment. Human beings can turn attachment into devotion. We can choose to continue loving even when the emotional intensity changes. That may be one of the most important things about love. Love can begin as something that happens to us, but over time it can become something we consciously participate in. Early love is often intense, fast, obsessive, dreamlike. Mature love is often quieter, but not weaker. In many cases, it is stronger. It becomes less like an explosion and more like a structure. Biology may light the fire, meaning decides what gets built around it. This also changes how we understand heartbreak. If love is both biology and meaning, then heartbreak is not weakness. It is not overreaction. It is a real event happening across multiple layers of the self. Biologically, the brain loses a major source of reward and regulation. Physically, stress increases. Emotionally, routines collapse. Symbolically, a future dies. A structure of meaning breaks. That is why heartbreak can feel disorienting. You are not only losing a person, you are losing a world that existed around that person. Seen this way, love reveals something important about human nature. We are not neatly divided into body and soul, not machine and spirit, not chemistry and meaning. We are layered beings. We are physical creatures capable of living through meaning. Our biology does not compete with significance. It carries significance. And if that is true, then several implications follow. Science and poetry do not need to be enemies when they talk about love. They may be describing the same reality from different heights. Science studies mechanism, poetry studies experience. One explains how, the other explores what it feels like and why it matters. It also means cynical language can distort the truth. Calling love an illusion because it has biology behind it makes no more sense than calling language an illusion because it has grammar. Structure does not cancel reality. Mechanism does not destroy meaning. It also means relationships are not sustained by feeling alone. Because love is biological, sleep matters, stress matters, touch matters, presence matters, safety matters. And because love is meaningful, honesty matters, attention matters, memory matters. Shared symbols matter. The story two people build together matters. A healthy relationship is not maintained by magic. It is shaped through both nervous system stability and shared meaning. It also means the desire for love is not childish or embarrassing. It may reflect something ancient in the species and something profound in the person at the same time. Human beings do not want only contact. We want significance. And maybe that is why love feels so difficult to reduce. It lives in chemistry, but it also lives in memory. It lives in the nervous system, but it also lives in promises. It lives in the body, but it also lives in grief, sacrifice, loyalty, and meaning. Love may be measurable in one sense and immeasurable in another. Not because it is magical, but because human life itself works across levels. So what is love? Maybe love is a biological system that binds lives together. And at the same time, it is a human experience that turns attachment into purpose, memory, sacrifice, identity, and meaning. Maybe it is chemistry that becomes story, instinct that becomes devotion, emotion that becomes structure. And maybe that is why love has always resisted simple explanations. It is physical and meaningful. It is natural and life-changing. It is measurable and still deeper than measurement alone. Love may not force us to choose between science and significance. It may be one of the clearest signs that human reality has always been both. Lucid order. Question everything.